Hello, everybody. It's your boy with BMP Sports News Network and everything in between. So, as we get started today, we got a nice round agenda of issues to talk about. From Bronny James to free agency, Caitlin Clark being exposed, and Brittany Griner. She a man or a woman? Now, some photos or actually an IG she put up, kind of put her out there and just got people thinking and talking right now about her. For origin of what she is. I mean, let's get to the first video to see what I'm talking about.
She came in hitting, elbowing, and I talked to one of the refs when she checks in. Hey, we got history from the first game.
There's not just a voice, there's these pictures, that have come out. And I know a lot of people immediately want to say, well, these are, they're not real pictures, right? They're doctored photographs. But this one I saw, I was like, man, that's actually the girlfriend in the background. But let's say this is doctored. There's not the tattoo on the rib cage, right? That usually there is. But it's very difficult because you say that tattoo, but when you're taking a picture, it flips, right? So it's kind of gives it like a mirror image. So that's not necessarily the right side. That's his left side, right? So there wouldn't be a tattoo. So you got to take these into account. This
So this is where this guy was talking about that pictures of her that surfaced on her IG that she posted, or I mean, she posted them. So what's I mean, be as far as being doctored, I mean, she hasn't talked about it either. So I mean, it's up for the people to decide, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, I mean, there's some other things that came up that she was when she was arrested in Russia that she was actually put in a man's prison, not a woman's prison. So there's, I mean, it's not like it's the first time men are playing in women's sports. So, but who knows? It's a big story that just hit the deal with people, bringing little proof. I didn't. It's the first time I heard about her being locked in a man's prison. So who knows, right? And then these pictures surface. Her like this guy was talking about her voice and everything as well. I mean, to me, I think she's a woman. Just I'm not even gonna. I was gonna go athletically and use that as a way to measure. But then again, I mean, it's just not like she would be the first non-athletic tall person that as a male. Because I mean, there's plenty of those. But I mean, I guess it's for the people to decide and the outrage to it, right? Or if she actually comes out and says anything about it, as far as being exposed. I mean, she put it on herself. So people have things to question or what's going on with her. She did it herself. She put all these posts on live. I mean, there's a lot of like people saying there's no surgeries because she could have got a double this mastectomy, but there's no scar points. There's nothing. And then the tattoos, because she has these tattoos. Don't get me wrong. But then they say about the ribcage tattoo. But like the guy was saying in this video, this is a mirror image, so it's not be the actual side that tattoo's on. And then her girlfriend's in the background. So there's a lot for people to decide, make their own opinions about it. I mean, it's something they have to deal with. But I just want to bring this to light since I just found this out and just hearing all this new information that come out about her. Because I don't like to just sit there and just point with accusations without any kind of proof. So she's getting that live. I mean, and and this is. I'm pretty sure this is gonna. It's bringing a lot to now about Jen Rosati's choice as far as choosing her for the Olympics. I mean, y'all talked about that. This is why y'all didn't want to bring Caitlin Clark along, but I mean, this is worse than Caitlin Clark. So I don't know. I mean, you just more and more y'all do stuff, y'all just shooting yourselves in the foot. As women for the WNBA. That's all I got to say. But it is what it is. So maybe we can start a little petition. Take Brittany out. Put Caitlin in. No, I'm joking, but it is what it is. So I just want to bring this to the attention, everybody. See what they thought about this late breaking news and new information of Brittany Griner being a man. So I don't know. See what happens on this. Let's get into the next topic. We're gonna talk about Skip Bayless as usual, making just crazy comments all the time, and then putting his foot in his mouth as usual. But first, I want to go with the signings for the NBA as far as the three best and worst signings of the free agency so far going on. As we all know, the Warriors dynasty has been disbanded. Nobody ever thought they'd come see this day, but it happened yesterday. Klay Thompson signed with the Dallas Mavericks. So, hold on 1 second, guys. We'll bring this up. Yes, it is true. All right, let's get into today's signings.
Which officially means that the NBA's free agency period is open for business, and with it came an onslaught of signings locked in already. Teams don't waste any time going for the guys that they want, and we've already seen some of the biggest names available in the free agency market.
Here's the big guy right here, Klay Thompson. He's on the opening thumbnail, opening videos of free agency because this is the end of a dynasty, the legacy. I mean, one of the greatest, the Dub Nation. They're done. The Splash Brothers. Nobody ever thought they'd see this day, but it happened finally. I mean, I get it. He's upset, man. They didn't offer him much, or they're outdated. They gave Draymond a big contract of all people. It's a slap in the face for Klay Thompson, especially what he's meant to this organization, even after injury and everything coming back. And Draymond just caused nothing but problems. So it's stupid. Let's see what his new venture takes into Dallas. Let's finish this videos.
Get picked up on new deals. But while some teams got their guys early and can walk away satisfied with it, other teams may end up regretting rushing into some of their signings, which brings us to today's video. Today we'll be picking out the 3 best and the 3 worst signings from day one of free agency based on the fit between the player and the team, the salary that they signed for, and the length of the deal that they signed. Before we start, though, it turns out a good amount of you watching right now aren't even subscribed to the channel. So please, if you would have been their way to set themselves up to make a splash specifically this offseason.
So Paul George signed a 4-max contract with the 76ers. The only way that, a lot of people are talking about this only because of Embiid, if he can stay healthy. That's what determines. I mean, he's only been healthy. He's been down, every other year. After his first Eastern Conference Finals, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. So that's going to play a major role in this signing. If he can stay healthy all year, maybe he can. I mean, maybe some of the workload, they can start sitting him during the end of the playoffs, give him more load management for the season, because he does play a lot of minutes. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, even this year, he's in there most of the time in the fourth quarter with minutes, even with the big lead. I don't know if he's trying to pad his stats, but maybe with Paul George signing, that'll alleviate some of that pressure, just alleviate some of that, because that's all he does. I've watched a lot of the games, and he's always in there. He plays, if not the most minutes by a big man or just on his team, period. Between him and Maxey, but maybe with this Paul George signing, because I know Paul George is looking for a ring, man. It's been a minute, after he suffered that broken foot, I think it was during the Olympics that when they were trying out for the Olympics, that one when he was playing with Indiana. He's been able to come back and with no issue. So let's see how this goes. But he did sign a 4-year max contract with the 76ers.
So coming out of this time without a big move being made would have been an utter disaster for them. They had the most and were with art going to the Detroit.
How much should good car insurance cost you a month? $80? $120? Nope. Try
Detroit Pistons for 2 years.
So I guess there's a lot of reason why they did sign him, because I didn't see. This is one of the worst. I guess once he signed, or Tobias Harris already signed, I guess that's why they signed Paul George. So they're saying this is one of the worst, because Detroit's not really there yet anyways. They're all rookies there. They're a young team. I don't see Tobias Harris just adding any playoff potential, to be honest. He's not that guy. He's very up and down scorer. He's about a 16.9 a game and maybe 6 to 8 rebounds, depending on how hot he can be. And that's about it. I mean, he can spread the floor a little bit. He can shoot the three, but I don't think this is gonna. I think he should have just stayed a little bit. Maybe that's the reason they did get PG, maybe to open up some of that cap space. But this is one of the bad trades for at least Tobias. Maybe he's looking at it from a paycheck point of view, But
years worth $52 million. The Pistons are in a really difficult spot right now, and there aren't really any clear-cut solutions to get them to the next step in their rebuild, but I can assure you that Tobias Harris is not the guy that will be doing that for them. It's been 5 years since the Pistons have been in the playoffs, and they're still at a point where there isn't really much light at the end of the tunnel yet, with an incredibly young team that lacks the firepower of other young rebuilding.
See, they're still young when they're in the rebuilding stage. So that was maybe it's a money grab for him. I mean, a lot of times they are when you go to a team like that, or you try to, We're gonna get next to my San Antonio Spurs. They picked up the point guard Chris Paul. Well, looks like Wemby will get more lobs and dunks this year for the Spurs. I didn't see this play coming, to be honest, man. I did not see it coming, but let's see what they have to say about
dealing at mediocrity in the near future. Now back over to the next of the best signings of the day.
This is probably Chris Paul's last hurrah, to be honest. I don't see him playing anymore too many years. I think it's going to be his last year. Probably retire, man. Go get a coaching job or an analyst job somewhere. I mean, he is pretty much what Chris Paul offers to a team is veteran experience, leadership. That's about it. He's not really that guy that's got to be consistent, especially during the playoffs. Never has been. That's been his MO as far as just being in the playoffs. Gets there, doesn't make it, chokes. All that goes with that. So maybe it's something that he could teach this young team because they are a very young team. They got a lot of good talent. They probably needs to mature a little bit, get their IQs up, and it's not a bad signing, to be honest. It's not a bad signing off for the young Spurs. They do get they got another draft pick this year, so top 10. So
Day, we have Chris Paul signing with the San Antonio Spurs for 1 year worth $11 million. We're not going to sit here and pretend that the Spurs are getting prime all-star Chris Paul or anything close to it, and he definitely didn't have the greatest season in Golden State last year, but still, in spite of all of that, Chris Paul embodies a lot of what the Spurs were in desperate need of. He's a Hall of Famer who got to where he is because of how smart he is as a floor general that gets all of his teammates involved and sets them up for easy looks. Last year in Golden State,
my thoughts exactly. So that's the only reason. I mean, it's a good pick. Is just to give them that veteran presence they need. Because after DeJounte Murray left, they really don't have anybody that's been there longer than a few years, or really anybody on the team that's got it's been there. They're all young. So let's move on to the next trade. The next signing, I mean. Oh, I didn't see this one coming. This is Hartenstein from New York. I didn't see this trade coming at all. I don't know. I guess, you just got back from the finals and, your best point guard got hurt, the best guy on the team, and you leave. I don't understand this one. Are you trying not to get back to the playoffs? Once again, a lot of times when a team leaves a team like that, it's got to be a money thing. It has to be. What's more important, money or a ring sometimes? Yes, in this point, money.
The ball instead of Jeremy Sohan, for example. Now over to the next of the worst signings of the day. We have Isaiah Hartenstein signing.
I like the signing only for the Thunder. They're revamping. They're trading out some of the parts. Like they had that Caruso trade with Giddey. I get the whole Giddey Caruso because of that issue they had with Giddey. That. I'm not gonna go into details, but about those supposed criminal charges that he was facing or looking at, or possibly, I understand that you got to get from out of that. Plus he doesn't average really give you any defense. His offense is suspect at times. Caruso can add you a lot more defense, and he's more of a distributor. Maybe get the ball off of Shy this year because Shy's he has a ball in his hand all the time. You know, maybe put him at from a shooting guard position, or just not let him handle the ball as much, man, because he plays a lot of minutes as well. He's a guy that, man, plays a lot of minutes for his team. You know, he got that injury towards the last half of the season that he had to be out for a little while, so maybe this will help out. I mean, I like both trades, to be honest, for the Thunder, because the Thunder, this is what they lack. They lack beef down in the paint. That's why they've been able. That's why they got manhandled by Dallas, to be honest, man. They couldn't protect the rim, and you know they just had a hard time down low with what's his name? Can't even remember his name. But I kind of like this trade. It's a good trade for the Thunder. For New York, it's not, to be honest. I mean, they're gonna lose their only big man that they really had. You know, then we don't know how when Julius Randle comes back, we don't know how good he's gonna be as far as how he's gonna be able to. You know, as far as that, I mean, Thunder's getting ready. I tell you that they're loading up. They're loading up for this NBA season, for next year's NBA season, and you can tell. I mean, they're probably gonna. That's two good signings. These are all people that's been playing. I mean, with Hartenstein going there, he has that playoff presence. I mean, he lost in the semis, but still, I mean, it's still a presence as far as just the experience. And then you got Caruso as well. He's a veteran. You know, so he understands. He went to the playoffs. So I mean, Thunder's loading up, man. See what's gonna happen. I'd like to see what the Thunder do this next coming NBA season. But yeah, it's a bad signing for New York to let this guy go. So let's finish some more of the video.
With the Oklahoma City Thunder for 3 years, worth $87 million. I don't even feel good about including this signing on the bad list for today's video because the fit is pretty seamless and I see why the Thunder targeted someone like Hartenstein, but the price they paid to sign him is way more than I think anybody expected Hartenstein to be signed for. This past season was the first year in Hartenstein's 6-year career that he even got to experience what it felt like to be a team's starting center, and it was only for half of the season due to injuries to Mitchell Robinson. Before that, he was a career backup with much less experience. This season, he did absolutely explode, proving to be a high-level interior defense.
Yeah, but, you know, they talk about experience and backup, but, I mean, it's better than it's no different than what Thunder already has already over there. I mean, all them guys are all rookies, to be honest. All of them. I mean, Chet's, second year? First year, he didn't get to play due to injury. I mean, it's not a bad sign. I like it. Like I say, it's not. I guess the only thing, the downside is the money, 3 for 57. But I think it'll be a big help over there with the night. Like I said, I can't wait for the season to start, man. I still, like the guy said, he thinks the only thing, the reason it's a bad signing is because of what they paid him. Because he's been a backup most of his career, and he only started because of Mitchell Robinson went down, and then Julius Robinson went down. I mean, see what happens.
Defender that plays the passing lanes well, uses his body to contest a lot of shots at an.
Let's get to the next signing. The signing that everybody's talking about. The end of a dynasty, end of an era. Klay Thompson to join Mavericks on a 3-year deal for $50 million.
Since signing with the Dallas Mavericks in a sign-and-trade deal for 3 years worth $50 million. This was one of the more surprising signings of the day since Klay Thompson has been a long-time staple of the most successful dynasty in NBA history and has spent his entire career to this point in Golden State. So the idea of him playing somewhere else was already a little bit strange to the process, but that became easier to swallow when reports dropped about how the Warriors were going in a new direction and were not looking to re-sign him before the period even opened. There were also
You've been waiting to apply for disability benefits. Don't. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm a lawyer at Atticus.
Teams that were reportedly.
My whole thing is this. I don't blame Klay for being upset. I mean, how do you sign Draymond Green over Klay Thompson? Really? I mean, the way the NBA is going, it's not geared for Draymond Green anymore. For Klay Thompson, it is. That's just crazy how you pay a guy that's only he's been He's only been a thorn in your side the last few. This last year period with all the trouble getting suspended, you know what I mean? I mean, he really gonna be non-existent next year as a teammate. So I don't even know why you went to sign him. That's crazy, man. But I hope this works out for Clay. I really do, man. That way he can throw it back in the organization and the base, Warriors face. And, hey, man, you didn't want me. Look what I'm gonna do over here with Dallas. And that's pretty much what Dallas is missing, man. A third guy that could actually draw some attention, get help them score, proven score at that. Because they don't have that. All they have is Kyrie and Luka, man. And this is somebody that can create on his own offense and everything. So it's gonna be fun to watch this, man. I mean, especially when they get to the playoffs, because they're gonna get to the playoffs. We all know Warriors, they're hurting right now. So this is definitely a good play for Clay all around, no matter how you look at it, even though he's leaving the Warriors. It's a good play. I like it. I hope they go deep. Warriors, I hope the Warriors. See what's going to happen. I'm going to jinx the Warriors. I'm not going to hate on the Warriors, but we're going to obviously see what happens.
Showing a lot of interest in him when that became clear, but the Mavericks weren't necessarily a team that were popping up in those rumors. So for them to be the team to not only land Klay Thompson, but to sign him to a pretty team-friendly contract is a massive win on their part. It seemed as though money was going to be the disconnect between Klay Thompson and the Warriors moving forward, so he would go elsewhere to sign a bigger contract offer. But the Mavericks, paying him about $17 million annually for this deal, is really not that much at all in today's NBA, where role players regularly are making north of 20 to 30.
So that is the big sign of the free agency so far. Only because he's leaving, you know what I mean? So, and here's another one that I guess he's just gonna stay here, man. Maybe it's the money grab for James Harden. He doesn't have a ring. What else can he do at this point? To be honest, to get any kind of big contract, that's probably what he's thinking about. Maybe he did not. I don't know if PG signed after him. Which I probably wouldn't doubt, but James Harden is going to stay with the Clippers on a 2-year, $70 million. It's still early. We're going to see what they're going to do. Kawhi's probably going to stay. Probably Kawhi's one of his first times that he's played a substantial amount of games in a season. Usually he's been injured ever since he left the Spurs, so we're going to see. Well, anyways, James Harden did have a 2-year, $70 million. That's big money right there, so that's probably why he's staying. Nobody else is going to give him 70 for 2. He shows old signs of Harden this year, even with their offense, but you can just tell he's not that. You know what I mean? Then the defense it's just he lost a step, and you can tell. That's the only difference with Harden now. He's lost that step, so it's Plus, they changed a lot of the rules as far as just gathering, the underswipe with the fouling and all that. So that's ever since they've changed those rules on him, it's kind of hurt him offensively, to be honest. Because at one time, man, he was going to the line more than anybody for a couple of years. He was leading the league in free throws and free throw attempts and all that. So it's kind of put a little damper in this game, So that's the one of the bad, as far as bad, one of the 3 worst signings, only because, for the team, not for him. Apparently, this is only going to help him. So those are our 3 and worst signings of the 2024 NBA draft so far. So my next topic, we're going to get with here. Oh, Bronny James. We're going to give us some Bronny James. His interview after the signing and after him getting drafted and everything else. Because he made this crazy comment that everybody's roasting him for, of course. I get it. You're loyal to your dad. I was asking, who do you bench? Who do you start, bench, and cut? Start LeBron James, you bench Kobe Bryant, you cut Michael Jordan. Come on, man, that don't even make no sense. It's all backwards right there. Switch him and Jordan. And you know how it is. That's your dad. You want to stick up for him. So let's listen to his first press conference. And and it's kind of a bad thing. I mean, I probably wouldn't have answered that question, to be honest, because first of all, you only getting drafted because your dad's on the Lakers. It's the only reason. So that's just going to leave you up for anybody that's, and there are a lot of them not LeBron fans. So, but hey, you know what? He's loyal to his dad, so that's going to let you know where he stands with that. So.
And really interesting to hear your perspective and your thoughts on all this. I want to go back to that moment though, and we just saw the video, right? You sitting, kind of waiting for the call. What is the whole day like? Just thinking about what might happen, and then to have it result in this way, where here you are sitting with us.
I just tried to stay as calm as possible. Knowing my dream was going to come true, I know all the emotions were going to come in as soon as my name was called, if it was. But yeah, I just was trying not to think about everything that was going on around, me getting drafted or not. So yeah, I was just, taking it slow and absorbing everything in.
You've been playing with the best players in your age group for a long time, right? And a couple of those guys are going to be in the NBA now. What have you learned about your game and kind of as you've progressed step by step to the point where now you're here you are, NBA player?
Yeah. My whole life I've been playing up. Basically, my whole life I've been playing a grade older, and I feel like that's built me into something that is tougher than my age group, or can defend the ball better than some other people. But yeah, just experiencing that toughness of older people, I feel like that's built me into something that's ready.
We talked to Rob on the day that you were drafted, and he was going back to the Lakers winning the in-season tournament, and then LeBron rushing back to get there for your first game. Those months in between, how difficult was that to try to find your game again when you hadn't been on the court, and to be able to get back in and show that you did what you could do?
It was tough. Not going in there as the most top recruited player in the country, I wasn't, implemented right away into the offense and stuff like that. So I had to, take it day by day and watch film and, put in the extra work to, find myself again. And I feel like that's, why I'm where I am today.
Yeah, so I guess in that sense, when watching some of those USC games, right, you're just trying to get back onto the court and
Well, that's a little short interview, him. I mean, I can't take any more, to be honest. I just want to see what happens, man. I mean, I wish the guy all the luck, especially having that cardiac arrest. Him having to play with his dad, I don't know how much that's going to help him. It'll help him a lot, don't get me wrong, but I don't know how much it's going to hurt him in the long run, to be honest. I hope he understands, and, and just, I mean, he does. He's a competitor. If you play any kind of sports on any kind of competitive level, you're going to give it all, no matter what. He knows he has a lot to feel, not just his dad's steps, dad's foot shoes, but just in general, just for being drafted. Because he's already labeled, he only got drafted, so he has a lot to prove, man, So we're going to see how this goes, To be honest, man, I don't think he'll be able to shake it. Especially if he's a bust, he won't ever be able to shake it, If he's a bust, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, the only problem, my honest opinion on LeBron James, he's just undersized. The guy's got talent. I mean, before the cardiac arrest, he has talent. I mean, for being an undersized guy, he has a lot of talent defensively. He can shoot the rock. He can do everything. He's just undersized. He's at 6'2", I think. Yeah, 6'2". So we're definitely going to see what happens, but I don't think he'll be able to get under, if he doesn't, because they're always going to, then they're going to start the comparisons with Michael Jordan's kids, and they already been doing that. They said that Marcus had a way better career than Bronny's already had anyway, so at college. It is what it is. So let's get to our final edition. The Skip Bayless putting his foot in his mouth once again because he thinks, I don't know what he thinks, other than he doesn't think at all when he says things. So here's Skip Bayless just trying to expose Caitlin Clark and everything. To be honest, man, I used to like Skip Bayless. I don't like him anymore. He's quick to crucify somebody. He's quick to go for one. He's quick to jump sides, jump ships all the time, man. I mean, But that's just the way the media is, whether it's force fed to us like that, because that's just the way they have to roll with it sometimes, because I understand their positions or what they're at. ESPN, they want you to take a role side and just use it in there or what, I don't know. Then again, you know, let's skip Bayless, so let's get on what he's talking about.
Stand out to underperforming pro. Here's how Skip Bayless just exposed Caitlin Clark to the world. The Indiana Fever's game against the Chicago Sky on June 23rd was a critical.
It's crazy. I mean, one game that he, you know, well, I guess she was supposed to sweep Chicago and Angel Reese. They just beat them 2-1. They're up on the series 2-1. I don't understand that. I mean, you want to blame her for everything? Blame the coach. To be honest, blame her teammates. I mean, I could count numerous assists where Aaliyah Boston didn't make a layup under the bucket. I mean, you can blame what you want, but it's crazy how she's pretty much under a microscope, the way she's getting scrutinized and everything, and just she's a rookie. I mean, she just beat Diana Taurasi, you know, and you know, my thing is this: if you're gonna talk, or you're gonna give, I mean, I get it; they're all opinions. We're all entitled. But if you're gonna say anything, especially being a player being exposed, at least put some legs to stand on, instead of just being opinionated because of what you think and not with facts. Because I can give you facts as far as watching every game that Caitlin Clark has played, and give you actual facts as why she's underperforming or not, performing in some of these games. First, it starts with the coach, then it starts with the players. And that's what she's lacking. She's lacking coaching, and she's lacking team chemistry as a team. And then, with even, a lot of the pundits and critics have said everything about Christy Sykes. She's not utilizing Caitlin Clark for what she is. I mean, they're all a young team anyways. I mean, she's not putting on she doesn't even know who her starting five is. I mean, she has a starting five that doesn't even gesh, and I mean, they don't even gel and mesh right sometimes. So, I mean, it's just crazy how 1 week she's one of the best rookies, then one game, and all of a sudden she's exposed. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, this game was lost in the fourth quarter because they didn't use Caitlin Clark. I mean, you could even say bad officiating as well, because there was a stretch down the deal when they were making that run, and I think it was Samuelson, I want to say her name was. They were running, Chicago was running the court, and she even looked at the ref right in front of the ref's face. They threw the ball, and what's her name was finna steal the ball, and Angel Reese grabbed her by the wrist and pulled her to the ground, made her hit a no call. It's, you know what I mean? The officiating in the WNBA is horrendous. I'm gonna be honest with you. They favor players. They favor these dinosaur women that need to get out of the league and everything else. And, I've never seen worse officiating, to be honest, than probably at a high school basketball game. I mean, I get it. It's physical. It's part of the game, but, but let's go on with Skip Bayless.
Critical matchup that showcased both the potential and the pitfalls of the Fever's season. The Fever started off strong with a promising lead in the first quarter.
See, what I don't get is this. You say she's exposed, but she was flirting with a triple-double. She was one rebound short of a triple-double, which nobody has ever done as a rookie. Ever. Not even come close to that. See, I mean, that's what I mean about how Skip Bayless says something, says he's exposing Caitlin Clark. The next game, she bounces back as a rookie. She bounces back against the GOAT. When they came back in that game, that's what I'm saying about Skip Bayless. He just doesn't know when to shut up sometimes. I get it. It's freaking, you got to be controversial when you give your opinions and everything. But come on, man, she's a rookie. She's doing better than what most people thought she was going to do. She's doing better than most veteran people in most women in WA dad are doing. They didn't think she was going to translate this fast as a rookie. I mean, yeah, she takes some. She's kind of inconsistent offensively, but I don't blame that on her. I blame it on the whole scheme of the team, the chemistry of the team, the coaching of the team. Just the physical defense of the team. Yeah, she's a little on defense. She's a lie. She's not a full. I don't think she's a liability as to the fact that the way everybody explains. She's getting used to the speed. That's what it is. You know, they in this league, when they run a screen, they run a true screen. A big, it's and the thing is with the WNBA, as far as when they run screens, they didn't got to roll. They ain't got to worry about just the shooter. They got to worry about the center as well. The person screening the ball. That's the big difference. So.
Clark, who has been thought to be the future of the franchise, initially seemed to be on track for another impressive performance. Her presence on the court was electric, and early in the game, she made a few key plays that had fans on their feet. As the game progressed, though, the momentum shifted dramatically. The Chicago Sky began to exploit the Fever's weaknesses. By tightening their defense and focusing on neutralizing Clark, they managed to turn the tide. Clark, who is typically a high-volume shooter with a career average of over 25.
See how they say high volume, but she doesn't shoot. She isn't taking that many shots like she does in college. So that has a lot to do with it. I mean, it's hard to get into a rhythm because when they're sharing the ball equally through the whole game, because she does have players on her team that can shoot that are, it's not like where she was at Iowa where she was the main focus and it's just my theory is this: once they all give in and they all want to play as a team and the chemistry is actually there, we're gonna be talking about something different. We're not gonna be talking about Caitlin Clark explodes, none of that. I mean, she's halfway through her rookie year, and you're exposing it. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It's like Diane Trice said, you got to give yourself grace. I mean, she's a competitor. I mean, it's just crazy how Skip Bayless can make some of these comments that doesn't make any sense. What is she supposed to do? Averaging 30 points a game or something? Just don't get it, man. I don't get it. I mean, again, like they say, it's probably the agenda they have. It's what keeps the headlines rolling, keeps what relevancy with the sports media sometimes. I mean, it's not like as if Skip Bayless doesn't give these outlandish takes anyways. So.
Points per game in college was held to just 17 points in this game. The turning point in the game came midway through the second quarter. The Sky's defense, particularly their double-teaming strategy, forced.
Did you want to see how much money you're eligible for if you were in a car crash in the last year and it wasn't your fault? You can
Clark into difficult positions. She was often caught between trying to create plays for her teammates and looking for her own shot, leading to several turnovers. The Sky capitalized on these mistakes, scoring.
See, a lot of this game line was lost. They had no answer for Angel Reese. Melissa Smith, she's just doing whatever she wanted to Melissa Smith. So you can't sit there and blame just her on everything. That's crazy, man. I mean, that's what I talk about. Some of the takes they have on Caitlin Clark. Just a lot of people like this commentator that's talking about this game right now. You sit there and tell me that everything's just Caitlin Clark's fault. That's I mean, like I said, it's an agenda sometimes. Man. I don't, she bounced back. That's all I got to say. She bounced back in this game, got a triple double, almost had a triple double, flirting with the triple double. Nobody's ever had one as a rookie, ever, or even come close to one. So it is what it is.
Crucial points off transitions. Clark's performance in the second half was particularly concerning.
I tell you one thing about her second half performance, which is that she did not shoot. That wasn't lack of not wanting to shoot the ball or all that. It's because they weren't given the opportunity. Like I watched the whole game. Fourth quarter, after the 5-minute mark, basically half the fourth quarter, she wasn't given the opportunity to shoot the ball by her teammates, to be honest, man. They weren't trying to get her open at all. I mean, like I say, a lot of this revolves around Kelsey Mitchell, man. She plays too much ISO ball, and she doesn't even look sometimes the opposite side. She just starts going a certain way she wants to go and takes everybody else at the offense, forces a shot. She might make it here and there, but a lot of time, man, she runs people out of the offense. So, you know what? I'm gonna end it there. Crazy how a lot of people, but I guess, but this video was made before she played Connecticut. They probably wrote her off. All their the Iron Trice is probably gonna be this show, rookie killer, all this. But let's see what Skip has to say after that. I don't know if he's put a video out yet. I'm pretty sure, he's gonna get in the comments anyway next time he says anything. So that's gonna be it for today. Just bring up these fresh new topics and about Caitlin Clark being exposed by Skip Bayless. That's crazy. That's gonna be it for today, guys. So at BP Sports News, it's gonna be it. Everybody have a good Wednesday.